We have seen there are always multiple layers of meaning embedded in ancient Egyptian symbols.
Oh yes, the ideas have many layers of meaning. They just go on and on. You can take one of these sutras and dig in it forever.
Mm-hmm. Romania. What do we know of this country? In reality, very little. However, we've become aware of a culture impregnated with surprising traditions and histories. We have in mind images of haunted castles and vampires, but we are far from the truth. Here, there are numerous oral traditions that allude to ancient civilizations, as well as numerous archaeological discoveries that seek to cover them up. To better understand the myths of this country, we will go off the beaten track and meet with often contested researchers and experts, some of whom have dedicated their entire lives to bring to light these discoveries and re-establish truths long since hidden. We will reveal ancient sanctuaries, mysterious treasures, and unusual archaeological objects that can bring into question our entire history. Have there been previous civilizations with a very advanced knowledge? Could humans have co-inhabited the Earth with giants? Our research will take you to out-of-the-way places where myth and reality cross paths. There is somewhere, 1,200 meters up, that's 4,000 feet, a sanctuary that attests to the presence of an ancient civilization, the Dacians. During the Roman occupation, the Carpathian people withdrew there to make their last stand. And what we have discovered there will shake up the established truth. Sami-Zejtusa, known as the Romanian Stonehenge, is listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Now in ruins, this sanctuary was once the ancient capital of the Dacians. This military supply fortress was comprised of 5 terraces that extended to more than 30,000 square meters. Inside it contained living accommodation, stables, and storage facilities, all served by a complex water supply system. The city temples did not survive the wars. Only fragments of andesite rock proves their presence. Archaeological excavations attest that the inhabitants enjoyed a high standard of living. Here the buildings benefited from modern installations a long time before the Romans interfered with the Dacian culture. But Sami-Zejtusa was much more than a simple city. Sami-Zejtusa was also the site of an astronomical observatory. It is said that the priests mastered cosmology and established the positions of the planets. Their science of the stars governed decisions relating to future wars, the cultivation of the land, and voyages to undertake. The largest sanctum in the citadel measures 30 meters, or 98.5 feet in diameter, and is composed of 3 concentric circles. This astronomical temple doubled as a calendar, reputed to have been one of the most precise in all antiquity. With next to it, a circular andesite flagstone comprised of 10 spokes acted as a solar dial that allowed the Dacians to predict the solstices and equinoxes. Discovered in 1875 under the reign of King Carol I, the tablets of Sinea suggest that the Dacians did in fact possess the written word. 500 of these tablets were found at the end of the 19th century during the construction of the castle of Pelisor. Originally fashioned in gold, they show 3 different types of writing. One resembles a form of ancient Greek, but the other 2 remain unknown. To get the gold, King Carol had copies of them made in lead before melting down the originals.
Cette forme de grec ancien a permis de traduire quelques mots sur certaines tablettes. Du coup, on pense qu'elle mettra en lumière les chroniques de Décébal, qui était un roi Dace, et elle mentionna aussi la cité de Sami-Zejtusa. En plus, certains signes qu'on y trouve présentent des similarités avec le style arabique, et les historiens et archéologues évoquent également des personnages aux allures de rois perses et arméniens.
However, their authenticity is quickly contested by historians. It is inconceivable for them that they could assemble 3 different styles of writing. More so, if we have not discovered similar writings, then they had simply been invented.
elles ne sont pas les seules à mettre en lumière 3 types d'écritures différentes. Et on en a la preuve avec la pierre de Rosette, qui a permis de déchiffrer les hiéroglyphes égyptiens. Et certains chercheurs affirment que si elles avaient été authentiques, elles n'auraient pas été fondues car elles auraient été trop importantes pour l'histoire. Le roi Carol, qui était déjà immensément riche, n'aurait pas eu besoin de l'or des tablettes.
The verdict is without doubt. They cannot be authentic. For historians, they were just a joke. The story could have stopped right here, but in the last few years, a number of them have disappeared, suddenly reigniting the controversy surrounding their true nature.
Un cercetător român, Dan Romalo, a reușit să aibă acces la Institutul de Arheologie și să fotografieze 200 de astfel de tablițe. Ei bine, în urmă cu câțiva ani, când am fost la Institutul de Arheologie din București, am mai găsit 34. Sute de astfel de tablițe au dispărut fără urmă, fără ca cineva să poată să fie tras la răspundere, pentru că ele, nefiind înregistrate, practic putem considera că pentru instituțiile statului nici nu existau. În primul rând, este o argumentație logică. Cineva care dorea să creeze o confuzie istorică nu avea nevoie să facă sute de astfel de plăcuțe, ci era suficient să facă 5 și crea confuzia istorică dacă asta își propusese.
Is the disappearance of these tablets linked to their containing a message and mysterious inscriptions? Or maybe they show that the Dacians were not so primitive. But what were they really? In Romania, the Dacian people speak a lot about it, but according to historians, it is as though they came from nowhere. To understand their origins, we must go back to an era where the Thracian territory extended east to modern-day Germany and south to the Caspian Sea. Very little is known of this civilization, only that it was divided into hundreds of tribes, of which the most important was the Dacians, known as the Getae by the ancient Greeks, in modern-day Romania. The Greeks were the first to document the exploits of the Thracians. The philosophical texts by the likes of Herodotus and Plato are full of praise for them. Excellent horsemen and remarkable competence, their temperament was a veritable asset for the Greeks during the siege of Troy. They were also found at Alexander the Great's side during his campaigns and conquests. Far from the derogatory cliches, the skill of the Thracians in gold and silver demonstrates an undeniable artistic refinement and invokes an accomplished civilization.
Atunci când vorbim despre traci, care în multe rânduri au fost prezentate în mod oficial ca o populație barbară, primitivă, descoperim de fapt o cultură excepțională care în anumite momente a influențat cultura greacă în mod major. Practic, atunci când vorbim despre Orfeu, Dionisos, Apollo, Artemis și alte divinități sau tradiții grecești, trebuie să subliniem că acestea au fost împrumutate de greci de la populațiile tracice.
It is said that in Thracian mythology, Zeus was called Zebelizes. Artemis is enshrouded in the traits of Bendis. Zabazios became Dionysus, just as Apollo originated as Orpheus, god of mythology of the art of divination. Each of the Greek and Roman gods traces their origins to the Thracian divinities. The Greeks were inspired by these people in their lifestyle and their philosophy.
Spune foarte clar, făcând trimitere la geți, unul dintre neamurile tracice călătorește la geți nu ca să le dai legi, ci ca să tragi învățăminte de la ei. La geți, câmpurile sunt nesfârșite, toate pământurile sunt comune și dintre toate popoarele sunt cei mai înțelepți, ne spune Homer. Am încheiat citatul.
But this civilization, with its inestimable resources, was to be coveted by a Rome that was being crushed by its debts. After many wars, Rome came to destabilize the Thracian nation and conquer part of its territory. The last tribe to resist the invasion retreated to the Carpathian Mountains in Dacia. Tough and immovable, their emblem was the wolf, symbol of intelligence, liberty, and insubordination. Associated with the snake, it forms the Dacian Draco that would become renowned. Seeing that they were a minority in the face of the Romans, the Dacians made no compromise. They swore only to Zalmoxis, a divine priest, who persuaded them that to die on the battlefield led to immortality. a formidable belief which undermined the Roman soldiers. It is at Salmizegetusa that they delivered their final battle. The citadel, the ultimate resistance to the Roman invasion, sheltered Decebalus, the last king and general of the Dacians. Despite the competitiveness of his army, they ceded in face of the power of the Roman Emperor Trajan and chose to die to accede to Zalmox's paradise.
Les Daces ont fini par perdre face à Rome, mais de tous les peuples d'Europe, c'est quand même un des rares à avoir résisté aussi férocement à l'envahisseur. Et c'est pas un hasard si leur symbole c'est le loup. Ça illustre vraiment cet esprit de révolte. Et alors, en parlant de révolte, l'anecdote intéressante, c'est que lorsqu'on sait que le royaume s'étendait jusqu'en Phrygie, qui est donc une partie de la Turquie d'aujourd'hui, on peut faire le rapprochement avec les bonnets pourpres qu'ils portaient. Appelés donc les bonnets phrygiens, que portaient les révolutionnaires français en 1789, mais aussi repris dans d'autres révolutions partout dans le monde. C'est un symbole qui est vraiment fort, et c'est vrai que beaucoup d'entre nous en ignorent véritablement les origines. Si on va plus loin, le détail le plus explicite de cette reconnaissance pourrait être le symbole fort de la louve qui allait être Rémus et Romulus. La louve mère, le symbole de la patrie dace, et les deux bébés symbolisant Rome. Mais quand on voit que la légende poétique d'un loup qui allait 2 enfants est acceptée et officiellement reconnue, on doit se poser la question de ce qui est le plus logique et le plus rationnel, à savoir l'image d'un loup qui nourrit et élève 2 enfants, ou bien la version symbolique qui tend à démontrer que la culture dace aurait pu nourrir, sous-entendu influencer, l'Empire romain.
Being up to 3 meters, 9 foot 10 inches tall, our attention is drawn to the exceptional scale of these statues, larger than those erected in memory of Roman warriors. Naturally, the most logical explanation is that the Emperor Trajan admired the bravery of this nation. However, a second theory has come to haunt the spirit of more and more enthusiasts. Is it conceivable that some of these statues were in fact life-size? This idea that crosses our mind sounds foolhardy, yet we are not the only ones to think it. Several discoveries show that some of the Dacian warriors could indeed have been this size. In Bucharest, the Natural History Museum harbors an exceptional treasure. Delicate gold and silver sculptures confirm the mastery of these materials that this nation possessed. Certain jewelry from Salmizegetusa that almost 2,000 years later contain treasures that have never yet been excavated. Among this decorative jewelry, including brooches and necklaces, are found some stunning bracelets. Their diameters vary between 9 and 13 centimeters, 3.5 to 5 inches, and weighing anything from 700 grams to more than a kilogram. That's 24 to 35 ounces. They're made of several loops comprising of snakes' heads. Cold forged from gold bars, they demonstrate a complex and very elaborated technicality. Romanian archaeology alleges that these bracelets were used for rituals or reserved for a certain elite of Dacians. But for now, it's their size that concerns us.
Si on part du principe que c'était des bracelets de poignets et non pas de bras, on constate qu'ils sont anormalement grands et qu'ils ne correspondent pas au diamètre de poignets d'êtres humains ordinaires. On pourrait penser qu'ils étaient portés au bras, mais même dans ce cas de figure, ils sont beaucoup trop longs. S'il s'avère en effet qu'ils étaient portés au bras, alors ceux qui les portaient devaient être très grands. On peut en déduire qu'ils devaient mesurer très facilement plus de 2 mètres de hauteur, si ce n'est plus.
According to historians, these bracelets were worn by the highest-ranking Dacians, and without wanting to play with words, these highest must have been very tall. This partially broken helmet has a diameter of around 30 centimeters, 12 inches, almost twice the size of an ordinary head. Specialists allege that they were worn on top of other helmets. What is to be made of this ceremonial breastplate that no ordinary shoulder would be able to wear, and whose length measures almost 80 centimeters, 31.5 inches? Just below, a ring with a diameter of 3 centimeters. That's more than an inch. and it's the same for this gold crown of unequaled finesse, which too has a very large diameter. It would have belonged to King Sooths III and came from his tomb in Bulgaria. Bizarrely, the remains of this king have never been found. Did giants once walk these lands?
Un épisode de l'histoire romaine en territoire thrace mentionne l'existence d'un berger devenu ensuite empereur qui s'appelait Maximintrax et il avait une taille qui dépassait les 2,50 mètres de hauteur.
In 190 BCE, in modern-day Bulgaria, Roman soldiers met with something strange. In front of them stood a Thracian shepherd who towered over them by several head heights. This colossus joined the Roman garrison, where he rose through the ranks to become emperor in 235 AD. Many think that this description of Maximinus is exaggerated, and unless one day we find his skeleton, his real size will remain unknown.
Si cet empereur avait réellement cette taille, on pourrait envisager que d'autres soldats tout aussi grands, peut-être même plus encore, auraient pu eux aussi exister. Ça pourrait peut-être expliquer la taille hors norme de certains bijoux qui ont été retrouvés.
On the Sinea tablets, one engraving could confirm it. It puts into evidence a scene where men came face to face with giants. On their shield, a significant symbol indicates that they originated from the legendary continent of Hyperborea. An ancient map by Gerard Mercator, dated 1595, locates the original country of the Hyperboreans in the remote areas of the North Pole.
Les gens des chroniques anciennes disent que la première civilisation qui a existé s'appelle Hyperborée. Et ce peuple hyperboréen, s'il a existé bien sûr au sens propre, est descendu donc vers le sud. Donc est descendu en plusieurs endroits. Il y a eu plusieurs branches. Une branche serait allée vers le Caucase. Donc la nouvelle capitale des Hyperboréens s'appelle Asgard et c'est situé dans le Caucase. Une autre serait partie vers le Tibet et une troisième serait allée dans des archipels situés au niveau du golfe du Mexique aujourd'hui qui donne naissance à l'Atlantide.
Homer equally alleged that the New Borea was situated in Thracia and that the Hyperborea was situated in the north of Thracia where the Dacians used to live. The Greek legends state that the descendants of Borea, the Boreads, were giant kings measuring more than 4 meters, 13 feet in height. If in those days men of gigantic dimensions existed, we understand now why they fascinated the Romans so much, and it is not impossible that certain archaeological discoveries could have willingly been ignored. To understand more, we have to go off the beaten track, to dig, look for more clues, and go against the tide of perceived ideas. In the southwest of Bucharest, a discovery passed almost unnoticed that will undermine our understanding of history.
Le support il est là.
we can take some other things here. Because if you see this kind of main construction in the lower part, which are by the regular archaeologists known as the Inca imperial style, and then this other part of the terraces, which are with the small stones, that according also to the archaeologists might be dated as a pre-Inca, which I think is backwards, is going to show us that here, like in Machu Picchu and some other places, there has been different time and space occupations. And that's very clear when we were going to walk in the stairs over there, okay, where we see all this fine work of masonry. There are two main places here, or three places, Coricancha, Pisac and Ollantaytambo, where you see this really fine masonry. If you have been in Egypt, one of the main things that is going to come to your head when you will see the work down there is that it's the same technique, the same hand. The ones who has been done part of the sacred chamber in Egypt are the same guys who has been doing this. This is the same hand.
I'm going to take you now to see that hospital, the healing with the sound.
Stories about ancient healing techniques were passed down from generation to generation by the elders. Hakim explains how sound played a part in diagnosing and healing patients.
That line of construction you see like 3 chambers, it's what's left of the house of the spirit. And it's a healing system with a sound. It's a medical investigation table. And the patient have the right to use either side of the stairs. One on the right, one on the left. So he have to follow, or she have to follow her own antenna to climb up there and choose the point where she stands. Because each point is connected to a cheek chamber. We have 22 of them, 11 on each side, no ceiling. And when you go inside, you can see a niche where the physician put his head in the niche to see what's the matter with his patient laying on this table. And that works with the sound. And the sound source is running water in a tunnel underneath here. So it's a big map of tunnels underneath here.
Let's consider that the pyramid sites along the Band of Peace are sophisticated harmonic structures, not only mirroring positions of the stars, but designed to replicate harmonic cavities of the human body. It seems that the chambers in the pyramids are harmonically tuned to a specific frequency or musical tone. Sound healing techniques were used to restore the patient's body to the correct harmonic within. This is the view of Abu Sir to the north of Saqqara, and here is the view of Dashur to the south.
Now, when you come to the word Neferu, sin means double. Nefer is harmony, so it's double harmony. It's not a name of a person, but it's the energy we get from these constructions.
Let's consider that the pyramid sites along the Band of Peace are sophisticated harmonic structures. It seems that the chambers in the pyramids were harmonically tuned to different frequencies or musical tones.
The big pyramid, it has 2 chambers for 2 different sounds.
Each chamber in each pyramid, then, could be exemplifying sound technology with distinct tones, creating huge fields of harmonic resonance.
In nowadays, as I heard, in Australia you have a lot of very poison snakes. This is a stone pan flute, and you can see here where it is damaged that inside the stone is brown, but only the surface is very black like lacquer. And we do not know how they could do this. And the holes are very precise done. And we asked a Bolivian pan flute player in Vienna to make us some sound samples. And I asked also 2 professors to join us to check the kind of sound. And it took him nearly half an hour until he got the first sounds out of it. And later on we found out that every 2 holes are perfectly connected on the bottom. And when he brought out the sounds, and we did a check on it, this sound does not connect any known sound, I don't know how you call it, do, re, mi, fa, si, yeah, it does not fit any. One tone was high, deep, very deep, middle, very high, but we found out that these tones have a connection with the brain waves. So I think they might have been used either for meditation or for healing. This is like a boat with 3 holes, and this is very small, and when he tried with the same force, power, to get out sounds of this small flute, it didn't work, and when he used it very soft, we got the same sound like the dolphin sound. And even in Austria, we have a pyramid of stones. So you can see pyramids, you can find them all over the world. And I think also there was a writing existing, the same writing all over the earth, which I show you other photos following. So I think the pyramids, they had a connection somehow, and they were not all, or only some of them were really graves. I think that they had other functions, but still the scientists do not have a real answer. This photo, I put it on because I did not know that Duncan with his magazine is much faster than I. He did a very good report about stone buildings in South Africa in his last Nexus magazine. So you can find, I don't have to talk a lot, you can read a real good explanation in the June-July Nexus magazine. An African owner of a fire protection company, he owns several helicopters and small airplanes for protection of fire. And he was flying over South Africa the last 20 years. And he did thousands of photos. He found thousands of stone circles all over South Africa. And the official archaeological explanation is that those stone circles were cow storages. But look at these pictures, and do you really think that those were cow storages? I don't think so, because they are exactly archaeoastronomical places or works. And I had a telephone call last week with the second finder, Michael Tellinger, and he told me that they did research with high-tech instruments inside of some of the stone circles, and they produce a sound of 14.5 gigahertz with 72 decibel, and they are quite sure that these sounds are producing a kind of energy. Another stone circle, another one, and if you look, they are mostly closed, and they have a very near connection to the stone buildings in Zimbabwe. They also informed me that they found gold mines older than around 40,000 years in South Africa. And Michael told me that they are doing now researches on these 2 mountains, and there is a third one, he told me, which is not visible on this photo, and they are exactly located like the great 3 pyramids in Egypt and have a connection to the Orion. And he thinks that those mountains are pyramids, but they have to start with diggings and research. They also found a few years ago in Bosnia in Europe, two big mountains. They existed for long times, and they had the scale of two pyramids, and they did some excavations, and they found out that those two mountains were in former days pyramids, and one of them is bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. The government of Bosnia prohibited last year the further excavations.
Hey guys, this is Brihadiswara temple in India, and I'm going to show you some solid evidence that ancient Indians were well connected to the rest of the world. This temple was built in 1010 AD. You can see plenty of gods and saints carved on the temple tower, but here you can see a European carved on the temple. This is really surprising because historians will tell us that the first European to reach South India was Vasco da Gama in 1498, but this temple was built 500 years before his arrival. Does this carving really show a European? To understand this, let's take a look at this carving in the same temple, which shows how ancient Indians looked and dressed. You can see how they wore a lot of jewelry, but usually did not wear shirts because South India is a very hot place. This is confirmed by another carving which shows a similar hairdo, and it also shows a broad nose. Going back to this figure, you will see the exact opposite. He wears a top hat but no jewelry. His shirt is shown with long sleeves and a collar. His nose is carved sharp, and he even has a beard as opposed to Indians who were clean shaven. His hair is let loose to the sides, and if you look at his hands and his face, it's almost looking like he is posing for the sculptor. If you compare this carving with Robert II, the King of France during the same period, it's almost an accurate match. Notice that the beard and the hair of the king matches with the carving. Even the long sleeves and collar are consistent. The only difference is that the king is shown with a crown in Europe, and here he is shown with a hat. It's very likely that this carving shows King Robert II of France because only gods, kings, and saints are usually carved on Hindu temple towers. Hey guys, this is the Hoysaleswara temple, and here we can see a very strange carving, an ancient Egyptian. You can see that the clothes he's wearing and the tools he's holding are completely different from all other carvings in this temple. In fact, many historians agree that this is an Egyptian figure, but have no idea how it has been carved in India, which is in a totally different continent. Mainstream archaeologists say this temple was built about 900 years ago, although locals say it has been in place for many thousand years. If we compare this carving with carvings of other Indian humans and gods in this temple, it has many distinct features. All Indian figures are shown with no clothes on the upper body, but wearing plenty of ornaments. This figure is the complete opposite. It is shown wearing a long coat, but almost no ornaments. Most Indian figures are shown wearing footwear, but this figure is barefoot, just like the ancient Egyptians shown in paintings and carvings. Now, if you look at this Egyptian figure, you can see that beneath the long coat, he's wearing a loincloth. And this is exactly what this carving also shows. A simple loincloth underneath the long coat. Now, if we take a closer look at this figure, we can see that he's wearing a headdress that reaches the shoulders. We know that this is a headdress because we can see his real hair underneath the headdress. And this headdress also looks remarkably similar to the ancient Egyptians, while all Indian figures in the same temple show completely different hairdos. All history books tell us that ancient India was not connected to ancient Egypt. Yet, we see this Egyptian in the temple. How is that possible? Remember, experts are telling us that ancient India was isolated. It was not connected to other countries. Yet, in another video, I have already shown you a European carved in the ancient Brihadiswara temple. All historians repeatedly tell us that India was not connected to Africa. Yet, I've shown you the carving of a giraffe in Konark Sun Temple, and giraffes are only found in southern Africa. With all these evidences, is it possible that ancient civilizations around the world were connected, just like how we are all connected today? Were they using advanced technology like communication devices and telescopes? How else can we explain this Egyptian, along with the other carvings found in ancient temples? But the most important question is, why did Egyptians come to India? What was the purpose of their visit? So I began scanning this temple to see if there were any more carvings of this Egyptian carved among the thousands of other sculptures. There are two smaller carvings which show the same person. Here he is shown watching Indian musicians and dancers, suggesting that he was a visitor from a royal family and therefore was being entertained. But there is another sculpture which shows something remarkable. On the left, there is an Indian man who has a child on his lap. What is strange is that he is using a dumbbell-like device on this child, and the Egyptian who is standing nearby is observing this procedure. You can see that the dumbbell-like device is placed on the left side of the child's chest, exactly on the top of the heart. In modern medical technology, in the last few years, we have developed something called a cardio pump to give CPR when someone has a cardiac arrest. This cardio pump must be placed on top of the heart and it will revive the patient. Are we looking at the exact same technology carved in ancient times? I mean, look at the similarity of the devices. They're both dumbbell-shaped and they're placed exactly on top of the heart. A text called Sushruta Samhita, written at least 2,700 years ago, talks about advanced surgical operations and mentions a vast variety of surgical instruments. Carvings of identical surgical instruments are found in ancient Egypt. Carvings in Egypt clearly show this, and archaeologists have even found remains of these metal surgical tools, proving that surgery was done in ancient Egypt, just like India. So, what do you think? Was India and Egypt connected in ancient times? Did we have a sophisticated civilization with advanced technology thousands of years ago? Was the world connected back then, just like today?
Avem cea mai pură apă din lume, dar noi nici măcar nu știm că există. I se spune apa tinereții fără bătrânețe și curge din munții Rodney. E plină cu particule de aur și e un adevărat elixir împotriva tuturor bolilor. Ar trata până și cancerul și ăsta e unul dintre motivele pentru care străinii o comandă cu tonele. Priviți povestea.
Apa noastră e o comoară în adâncuri îngropată. Cam așa ar putea începe povestea apei cu aur, unică în lume, un fel de elixir al tinereții pe care străinii dau bani grei.
Această apă, care este o apă oligominerală și de calitate înaltă, conține coloizi de aur și de argint, ceea ce în lume sunt 2-3 surse. Este comoara României în adevăratul cuvânt.
Suntem în comuna Maieru din Bistrița, locul de unde izvorăște practic apa minune despre care se știe că ar vindeca orice boală.
Tratează inclusiv cancerul, enterite, colite, pancreatite, diabet zaharat, meningite, scleroză multiplă.
Poate fi tratate cu apa?
Absolut, da.
Sunt ani buni de când medici, geologi, dar și oameni de rând vin să vadă cu ochii lor și mai ales să guste din apa tinereții fără bătrânețe, așa cum îi spun localnicii.
E ca și când ai simți aurul și puterea aurului. De aici curge sănătate curată, cum s-ar spune, dar și la propriu și la figurat. Deci nu este o aberație.
El e Mihai Bucovan, omul care a descoperit izvorul de aur. Se întâmpla acum 12 ani, în timp ce săpa alături de un prieten după marmură.
Și am venit aici.
Pentru marmură.
Pentru marmură. Când am ajuns aici, printre pietrele de marmură susura apa. Cu apa asta ce-i? Deci uite, ai o conservă acolo, gustă. În momentul când am băut-o, a făcut click și a zis: domn inginer, valoarea e apa asta, nu piatra asta.
Atunci a trimis apa la un institut din Germania pentru teste și așa avea să afle că izvorul e o adevărată mină de aur nedescoperită. Practic, aici curge cea mai pură apă din lume.
Și eu am zis cum să se amestece aurul cu apa, deci ca orice om de rând, n-am știut nimic. Și el m-a luat invest. Dacă o moleculă de aur e în apă, o putem depista. Aia da, pentru că există detectoare, există posibilități. Și așa am pornit
și de la
și am ajuns că de fapt nu e o banală apă și e o avere.
Așa avea locul să fie căutat imediat de specialiști.
Asta e marmura din care iese apa cu aur. Apa de aur a noastră. Ce frumos eșantion!
Vasile Serețan e expert hidrogeolog. Ani la rând a studiat apa de la izvorul din Maieru și spune că e un fel de antibiotic natural, antioxidant și cu proprietăți curative, așa cum nu întâlnești nicăieri în altă parte.
O face specială faptul că în ultimii 5 ani de zile noi am dovedit prezența aurului și argintului în ea. Este rară pentru că are ceva deosebit față de cealaltă. Noi am dovedit că are în ea puterea de a te energiza.
Teoria e confirmată însă chiar de un doctor, Cornel Merlaș, medic primar chirurg, specializat și în anestezie, ecografie și fitoterapie. O dată pe lună vine aici să ia apa pe care o duce la Cluj pentru pacienții săi.
Noi avem experiența peste 8 ani de activitate în care folosim apa cu aur coloidal. Are efecte și antibiotice. În orice tip de infecție bacteriană, virală sau fungică, efectele pe care le are sunt deosebite.
Și medicul merge chiar mai departe și spune că apa ar face minuni chiar și în cazul cancerului, nu însă fără un tratament clasic.
Am început în tratamente în cadrul tumorilor cerebrale, de exemplu, a altor tipuri de tumori, pulmonare, hepatice. Aurul coloidal acționează pe multiplicarea celulară, normalizându-le, chiar dacă este un cancer cu stadiu avansat de evoluție, îi îmbunătățește condițiile de viață. Însă, în mare parte dintre cazurile pe care noi le-am tratat, tumorile au fost mult diminuate și evoluția a fost scurtată spre însănătoșirea bolnavilor. Prin această apă, în combinație și cu alte procedee pe care noi le aplicăm.
Din păcate, puțini sunt cei care știu de comoara din munte. În jurul ei, Mihai Bucovan a pus pe picioare o mini-afacere de familie.
Această mașină dă, de fapt, tactul procesului de producție.
Într-o gheretă de câțiva metri pătrați, el și 5 angajați îmbuteliază apa și o trimit la export ca apă de izvor.
Că trebuie să avem sub control fiecare om de aici și fiecare sticlă care iasă de aici. Fără muzică, fără șocuri, fără gândurele, pentru că nu avem voie, prin gândurile noastre negative, să stricăm structura apei.
Străinii sunt cei care o cumpără ca apă de lux, dar și pentru tratament. 1 litru costă 7 lei. Nu e deloc scumpă dacă ne gândim la calitățile ei și la faptul că noi facem coadă la farmacii. În România se vinde doar în câteva magazine naturiste, restaurante și hoteluri de lux.
Din păcate foarte puțin, pentru că capacitatea noastră de producție este limitată. Și nici nu prea se știe. Și nu se știe, clar.
Angajatele fabricii de îmbuteliere spun că au fost practic cobai și au testat apa de aur care nu îngheață niciodată.
Chiar aveam acid la stomac și am început să beau apă și mi s-a diminuat durerea și...
Cum? Explicăm ce simțeai, practic? Te durea ce?
Da, vă durea stomacul, aveam acid dimineața, arsuri. Și am început să beau apă în fiecare zi. Dimineața începeam pe stomacul gol cu apă și pe urmă tot mai bine mi-era.
Simțeai că se schimbă?
Simți, după câteva zile simți că ți-e mai bine. Că... Chiar la un moment dat eram foarte răcită și n-am scăpat nici cum de răceală. Și bând apă de asta pe stomacul gol am reușit să scap de răceală și nu m-am mai răcit timp de câțiva ani buni. Timp de vreo lună de zile. Toată dimineața pe stomacul gol apă din asta și am reușit să scap să nu mă mai răcesc.
Medicii chiar o recomandă a fi băută cu lingurița, asemenea unui elixir prețios.
Apa cu aur coloidal care o folosim pentru medicamente are o anumită doză. 3 lingurițe pe zi, dimineața, la mea și seara, înainte de mâncare, și preparatul trebuie ținut la rece pentru ca să nu fie influențe din cadrul mediului exterior.
În Caraș-Severin există un alt izvor din care mai curge cea mai pură apă din lume, cunoscută drept apa dacilor.
România, țară cu foarte mult potențial, de care își bat joc oamenii. Școala te vrea prost, îmi pare foarte rău, dar școala te vrea prost. Vrea să-ți pierzi identitatea, vrea să-ți pierzi creativitatea, vrea să, efectiv, să fii just another brick in the wall. Care e reasoning-ul în spatele regulii astea? De ce există regula asta? Că îți reguli, nu zic nu și nu zic că regulile sunt rele. De exemplu, nu aduci un cuțit la școală, destul de obvious. Nu îi dau un pumn la colegul, destul de obvious. Nu, băi, ține voi cu părul lung. De ce? Niciodată nu mi s-a arătat, uite, asta e regula. Asta e regula care trebuie respectată. A apărut un regulament out of nowhere, unde scria regula cu părul la băieți 4-5 cm pe penultima pagină. Încă o chestie super dubioasă. Dacă apare pe penultima pagină și ultima pagină era o foaie din aia de diseminează părintele, tu, directorul, ok, am luat la cunoștință, în fine. Dar pe pagina unde trebuia să semneze Consiliul de Administrație era gol. Foarte ușor și eu să scriu, ok, transferul meu a fost avizat de ăștia la datele astea. Dar n-am stabilit lor, dar credeți-mă pe cuvânt. Numai mie mi se pare din nou un pic sketch. Și nu vreau să înțeleagă nimeni greșit chestia asta. N-am făcut-o pentru mine, am făcut-o din pur simplu principiu. Pentru că nu numai în școala mea se întâmplă chestia asta. Nu o să fie nici prima, nici ultima școală în care se întâmplă lucrurile astea. E pur și simplu o chestie care se întâmplă în România și până acum nu a fost acordată atenție asupra chestia astea. De lumea ți-am spus, ia toate chestiile de gata, mură în gură. Că asta e mentalitatea de turmă, man. Dacă ești crescut de mic, nu te învață chestiile astea în școală. Școala te vrea prost. Îmi pare foarte rău, dar școala te vrea prost. Vrea să-ți pierzi identitatea, vrea să-ți pierzi creativitatea, vrea să, efectiv, să fii just another brick in the wall, cum zice Pink Floyd, don't be just another brick in the wall. Trebuie să înveți chestiile super de bază. De ce la școală nu mă învață drepturile omului? De ce la școală nu mă învață drepturile mele ca cetățean român? De ce la școală nu mi se citește statutul elevului, dar mi se citește regulamentul de ordine interioară? Eu de unde știu că regulamentul ăla de ordine interioară nu e în contradicție cu sistemul elevului? Pentru că orice regulament ar fi, oriunde ar fi, e imposibil să fie peste lege. În primul rând, eu am dreptul să-mi afirm imaginea, să-mi afirm personalitatea prin statutul elevului. Nu o să mă bag în Constituție în momentul ăsta, că, și nici în lege, că o să încep și o să dau prea multe exemple. În fine, sunt niște chestii super de bază, care nu ar trebui să depindă de altcineva. Exact cum am zis, e corpul meu, eu ar trebui să decid pentru el cum arată. Chiar citez un comentariu. Dacă ai fi fost băiatul meu, acum ai fi fost chel. Trebuie să înveți să respecti instituțiile statului. Ok, man, în primul rând trebuie să fiu respectat de instituțiile statului și după aceea să le respect eu pe ele, pentru că eu totuși fac parte din chestia asta și președintele și oricine e plătit din taxele care le-au plătit a mei și a mei mă susțin și din taxele care o să le plătesc și eu la rândul meu. Deci totuși am și eu drepturi ca cetățean în țara asta și nu mi se pare normal să mi se priveze accesul la învățământ pentru că am părul lung. Ce pot să spun, super dezamăgit de XII și de Liviu Pop, Ministerul Educației, în momentul în care tu permiți unei școli, cum ar veni, să îi tai aripile la un elev. Știi cum e? Unele persoane au văzut comunismul ca, cum zice și Ceaușescu, epoca de aur și unii l-au văzut oribil. Uite, amândoi părinții mei sunt destul de bătrâni. Au trecut amândoi prin comunism, așa quick fact, sunt 50 plus amândoi. Și unul dintre ei 60 plus. Deci amândoi au prins comunismul, au făcut facultatea pe vremea comunismului. Cum de reușesc să mă susțin în chestia aia? Cum de-s de acord cu formul lung? Cum de-s de acord să mă duc la festivaluri? Cum de-s de acord să lucrez la festivaluri? Cum de îmi dau atâta libertate? Consider că părinții mei m-au crescut tocmai să-mi spun părerile, cum am și făcut. M-au încurajat să descoper, m-au încurajat să fac lucruri noi și mi se pare că pe mine m-a ajutat foarte mult, că am ajuns să fac foarte multe voluntariate, am ajuns să lucrez la festivaluri, am ajuns să fac o tonă de chestii numai pentru că a mei, tocmai că nu mi-au tăiat aripile. România, țară cu foarte mult potențial, de care își bat joc oamenii la care le-au pus vremea. Și mi se pare că o să dureze un pic până când o să ajungă generațiile care totuși au o minte mai deschisă, să fie în locul persoanelor care au o minte încuiată. E mai ușor să schimbi cursul unui rău decât mentalitatea unui om. Că ăsta e adevărul. N-ai ce să faci la capitolul ăsta, e foarte greu să schimbi mentalități, e foarte greu să schimbi mentalități. Dar important e, eu de exemplu nu vreau să plec din țară, toată lumea, hai să plecăm din țară, o, ce țară, adică că bași picioarele, te duci. Nu, eu vreau totuși să rămân în țara asta să pot să-mi cresc eu copiii aici, dar ca să rămân în țara asta trebuie să fac ceva, pentru că dacă nu fac nimic o să rămână la fel de bullshit, dar ai nevoie de generația asta să facă chestii ca să facă țara mai bună, nu să plece, să stăm, noi trebuie, cum ar veni să fim o generație de sacrificiu care o să trească să îndurăm mai multe chestii ca să fie mai bine la următoarele generații. Toată lumea știe să se plângă și hai să stăm să ne plângem. Băi, eu dacă mă plâng de o chestie, m-am plâns că directorul nu mă lasă să am părul lung, am făcut ceva în privința asta. Și pentru toată lumea care știe de la chestia asta, nu acceptați nimic ce vi se pare că nu e corect, nu credeți chestiile de gata niciodată, interesați-vă înainte și dacă vi se pare că o chestie nu e corectă, raise your fucking voice.